Hello all. Right, this is a video just saying why, let's get rid of that, I switched from digital SLR, even though it's not a digital SLR, it's just to sort of show the size of them, even though this is a bit of a smaller body, to digital mirrorless, whichever body you sort of want to go for here. I've got quite a few of them, and the one that I'm shooting on. Well, the main reason I switched to the lovely mirrorless cameras, especially the Sony ecosystem, because they're a hell of a lot smaller. Look how thin that body is. Tiny, tiny, and obviously you do have the whacking great lenses that go on them. These Sonys are full frame, so they are a little bit larger than your sort of standard, if you go an APS-C mirrorless, which is sort of where it all started, which is what this little bad boy is all about, which is a Lumix. It's quite a powerful, it's a Lumix G7, it's quite powerful for what it is. Got a flip out screen, you know, it does. I don't know if I've got a battery in this one. Yeah, I've got a battery. No battery power remains. Right, okay, and this 4K records 100 megabits a second. So, I mean, it's still up with all these, all the latest sort of vlogging cameras and stuff you can get, like the ZV E10, what I'm filming on. Which, with the Sony menus, that's what all they need to sort out. The Sony menus are an absolute nightmare, pain in the arse. They're nothing sort of easy to find. It's just a pain. Sony, fix that problem. You have absolutely cracking cameras. And just fold these screens in. So these are A7s. That's an A7S. That's just an A7. A7S has got a full framed 12, I don't know if it says it on here, just 12 megapixel sensor, so it's really good for video and low light. And it does, this one doesn't do 4K in the body, but it outputs raw 4K through the the little, if I can get this open, no, wrong one, the little micro HDMI that's in the side, which is quite a small connection, would be better, little bit bigger. And same with the you can do the same with the just the A7, but you won't get the video quality out of this one because it's not designed for that. This one is designed for photography, which is absolutely fine, and it takes absolutely fantastic pictures. Got a viewfinder. Some of the new mirrorless ones do not have viewfinders, which then makes the form factor a lot smaller. A7S has a viewfinder. The Canon Lumix G7 has a viewfinder as well, which is a really good viewfinder actually. I must say I do rate that viewfinder over the A7s. The A7s, they don't seem to be particularly good quality, and the ZV-E10 is a bloody mouthful. What a silly name for a camera. Has no viewfinder at all. It's designed just really for content creators, really, like what I'm using it now for, as it doesn't really need a viewfinder, although it would have been pretty cool to have one on there, maybe some kind of really small one, because it can be a bit of a pain when you're outside. A digital SLR would be probably a little bit bigger than this, a little bit thicker, probably the thickness of this case that's on here. It would have all these sort of functions and buttons and stuff, and your viewfinder would be at the back, and you would have a screen. Now, on the older models, you never really got sort of a live view. That's what I really like with mirrorless cameras, is live view you'll get all the time. It's really accurate. You can have touch screen, so touch to focus, which is a really cool sort of thing to have. Sony's have absolutely amazing and remarkable focusing anyway. But with the digital cameras, the older ones, I know the newer ones did start sort of having those bits and pieces, but then they did start to incorporate video into them, which was not really what they were for. I think the mirrorless side is great for video. I think it's more keyed towards that than photography, even though they excel in photography so well. Having the live view features on a mirrorless camera, I do think you've seen the day for your normal digital SLR cameras. But what I must say is glass. Now this is an old lens. Let me just, it's got a funny hood thing on it that I was just doing some different sort of photography with. Old glass is absolutely fantastic glass. This one is a 50mm and it's adapted to fit the full frame cameras, which, let's actually put it on the A7S, because that's where it was. Is it? No, it's not adapted to these, sorry. It's been adapted to the Lumix, because I've got the adapter for the Lumix on there. I need to get some adapters for Sony for the E-mount. It's one thing I just didn't do because I just wanted to, I've got a lens on here anyway, but this lens, it works really well on this body, even though it's micro four thirds. This one, it's not APS. So of my opinion, did I say this was an APS-C? It's not. So it's got a smaller sensor than an APS-C, which I am actually quite amazed with. I don't think it's quite as sharp. It's nowhere near as sharp as what you'll get from an A7 full framed A7S. Nowhere near. But some nice cinematic quality you'll get out of that camera. Let me just pop this little thing back on. If I can get it to go back on. Are we going on? Oh. Doesn't look like he wants to go back on. Let's not cross thread it or anything. Let's leave that. I'll do that in a minute. I got this little ring for focus pulling. It can go on. I've got a focus kit, but I find this way a lot easier than having a wheel and a focusing, you know, that sort of way of focusing. I've mainly just got kit lenses at the moment for these, for the Sonys. Not a bad kit lens. This actually works. This one is the Cell 2870, so it's a 28 to 70 mil. It fits and it works perfectly on now let's try and get the name right, the ZVE10 APS-C camera, and it's fully functional on there. You just get a crop factor. There's no vinegar, yeah, whatever, the edges don't go all blurry. It's a really good lens, and it works really well. At the moment it's just got the 16 to 50 mil kit lens on, which I think's it's all right for what I'm using it for at the moment. I'm not going to be sort of upgrading my kit majorly. The only thing that I'm going to be thinking about getting is the, here we go, ZVE1 or 1E. Can't remember which way, because that thing is absolutely amazing and it's full frame. And I am a full frame person, yeah, because you don't get the crop factors, which are really annoying. Really good for doing outdoor photography because you get a closer image, and you don't need to zoom as much. So I mean a big zoom lens is going to be, even though that's not a big zoom lens, that's going to be about 105 to 70, something around that sort of size. So you're going to get a bigger reach. You don't have to buy these really expensive full frame major zoom, you know, they're like the white, the G ones. Yeah, they are fantastic, but that is the reason why I have moved to mirrorless, because they're a lot smaller and they're a lot lighter. I mean, I carried a full frame Canon 1D around London on a neck strap, and by the end of the day my neck, my shoulders, my arms were absolutely killing. Yeah, I know it's really a studio camera, but who cares? Who cares if people say it's a studio camera? You can take whatever camera wherever you want to. You know, push the boundaries. That's what life is about. Don't keep everything the same, otherwise we wouldn't progress with stuff. Took some absolutely fantastic pictures with it, but the weight, unbelievable. Now if I had one of these, I could have been, you know, it wouldn't have been a problem at all. I would have been able to put that on a belt clip. The Canon 1D is a massive camera. It's got, its form factor is probably sort of down here somewhere. Almost double a normal camera, just because of what it is. And it does take whacking great batteries. And I mean, these things slide in the whole sort of side of it. But the batteries do last on them. Obviously these new cameras, they got these tiny little Sony batteries. The A7s have one of the smallest batteries that Sony do, and the same with the ZV-E10, takes the same batteries, which is one of the reasons why I bought the camera, because all these Sonys, the A7, the A7S and the ZV-E10 all take the same batteries, and I've got loads of batteries for these cameras, so it's absolutely fantastic. I never run out of power, and they're quite easy and nice and light to put in your pocket because they're tiny, or in a bag, whichever way you want to do it. I don't really think there's much more to say on it. I do think the way of the world is going mirrorless. I hope it's not going to end up going to crop sensors, because I don't think crop sensors are the way, even though the collection of light that these crop sensors do is very good. They're just, I don't think they're as good as what a full frame sensor can do. And with the ZV-E1, you can have full frame on a full frame sensor, and you can shoot in 4K with a live sort of steady shot mode, so it moves all around the sensor and it keeps it 4K. And the image quality, what I've seen from that camera on video, is absolutely fantastic, and I would love to see how it shoots photography, because I'm sure it's very, very good as like the ZV-E10. Mouthful. They need to sort out these names for these new cameras. I mean like the A7s, that's nice and simple. A7S, A7 S3, A7R, A7Cs. That's simple, absolutely simple. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Leave comments as well. I like comments. I like to interact with you. Like and subscribe.